Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Thirsty Thursday. Don't forget to water your plants. It's December 29th, 2022. I wanted to give you a health update. Today is my bonus day 214 and my highway to heaven day 66. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's not been a cakewalk. This ladder to heaven, it's been it's been filled with an amount of heartache I couldn't even imagine. When people that you loved and opened your home up to and trusted constantly attempt to belittle you and drag your name through the mud when all you've ever done is be a love. I would like anybody that could do a ninth of what I did after I got out of the hospital for 15 days in 2020 with blood clots in my brain, having a stroke even though man said I didn't, impaired my right side. I didn't realize how much it impaired me until I couldn't sign my name. That's the truth. It's always been the truth, and that's what I've always been my entire life. I made up a couple of stories along the way to catch a rat in a hen house, but I have always spoken the truth. And anybody that wants to tell me otherwise, you come and say that to my face. You don't have the balls. That's why you hide behind a phone or a text or your computer and make up false screen names so no one knows who you are. You forget I read people, so I know who thou art. Your name doesn't have to be attached because I know your personalities inside and out and what you write in your messages. So my health today when I woke up, and I've been up for hours, has been not what you can tell in my face and my eyes. I can barely keep them open. But I flicked a switch to man's world when I became a minister. To follow in my beloved father's footsteps. And he did it. Became an assistant chaplain to get away from the fire of my mother. I did it to get away from the fire of man's hell of a world. I knew he wanted me here for a reason, but I had to get sick to figure it out. So I'm trying to understand this walk with God. I set up a house with massive head pains, going from acupuncturist to chiropractor to holistic doctors, unpacking mostly by myself, taking care of two Rottweilers, one elderly and not well like myself. Kept the house as clean as I could, but I couldn't keep up because I was so sick, and I have videos to prove it. Become homeless because a man I trusted and loved dearly left us for dead. And it just gave me more fuel to blaze my fire for him. Because look what man did to each and every one of us, not just me. I'm not the only victim. We all are. They poisoned us with prescribed medication. They made what he provided illegal, and they knew they couldn't make money doing it. So when I wake up with massive head pain and I hate taking medication, I would rather suffer through the pain because I know what my heart can take. And I don't need to look at a number in order to worry about that because that number means nothing to me. Because when he calls me home, that's when my heart's going to stop. But I'm not listening to the nonsense, nor should any of you. I have been fighting for my life, even in homelessness, while trying to teach people to learn how to love again. The hardened hearts that are out there is unreal. Hannah is here beside me and has not left my side but once. She knows, despite you stone throwers, that she wasn't professionally trained. Well, I have 2 college degrees. I think I'm qualified, and I used to raise Rottweilers. She is trained to help me under God, not under man that you guys keep trusting with your poison pills. I don't take anything daily, and I suffer through the pain until the pain lasts for hours that I can't take it anymore. And I take the smallest amount I possibly can. That's me. I don't tolerate taking poison pills and watching what they did to my body. I look back at pictures and I can't believe I trusted them. We all did. My countless clients would drop dead. It was just killing me inside. And then you all go about your hatred. Sheer freaking hatred, feeding off the lies and gossip that don't exist. I always love approaching the source of gossip that started with them. They run and hide. That's why people keep running and hiding, because I keep getting closer to the truth. And when I read Revelations today, to read in that Bible that the Pope is the Antichrist just put me over the edge. I was pretty sure about it all, but it's just spelled it right out. I knew it was all corrupt. I didn't know where it began, where it started, and he already took out the queen. Well, that's justice under God. Everybody has a choice to make. And I flicked the switch off to man's world, and I'm ridiculed for it. Well, what's worse? Being ridiculed for following God? Working with resting because he makes me rest when I need to. Even doing Bible study, I fall asleep. Like a baby with it in my arms. This world has become so heartless. When do your hardened hearts finally see the light? Would you kiss your mother with those lips? Just saying. Think about your life. Think about who you are today and do something about it. Don't be throwing stones at me, because if I fire back, it's going to hit you straight to the heart. And if it doesn't wake you up and you continue to live in your darkness, well, there's no hope left for me for helping you. I can no longer help those who don't want help. I have to move on. And what was so ironic about it, I didn't know what this video was going to be about, except I wanted to give people a health update. I mean, I live with it every day. I just got to a point it just became a part of who I was. And I just kept going because every day he woke me up, I knew I was here for a reason. Have you ever thought why God has kept you here so long while people are dropping left and right like flies? Let's take the health out of the situation and look at the personalities. Just saying. And where were their hearts? Were they hardened when they passed away? Think about that. And open thy Bible. And my favorite, most loving one is my Geneva 1560. And although the language may look difficult to read at first, I guarantee you, your brain will adjust. That's what man's tyrant regime is all about. Altering your brain through all their messages. So why not alter it in a good way, like I have? And now I know another language, which made me start writing my own writing so that I could understand it and people can still read it. Have you ever thought about using instead of what man has taught you, just writing it like you think it should be written? And then see if somebody else can't read it. You know what that does to your brain? It's just like learning another language. Your brain is a terrible thing to waste, and a terrible thing to be brainwashed and poisoned for as long as we've been punished from it. Poisoned from it. Punished too. Believing. So as I looked at our daily bread, which I'll come back and read that one in a bit, I flipped over the page, and it read just as I am. And you know, I never even thought about inserting myself in that song. Just as I am. This is how I've always been. I've always had my own sense of style. I've always had my own work regime. And why would my work regime change? No matter how sick I am. I worked my tail end off getting a house put together only for all of it to be taken away. That's what happens when you trust. And that's what happens when a relationship that began as sin turned into a relationship like a father to his daughter. At least that's how I felt. I even told him about a guy I met and I fell in love with, but I never told the guy. I just saw him and I was in instant love. But he too fell into the tribe of man's world and turned into a person I didn't want to know. So I kept that I loved him to myself. We all make choices in life, but they're all at the hands of God. So if your life isn't in the place that you want it to be, now's the time to change it. Why not get rid of the old and in with the new? And what better time to start today? Why not ring in the new year, a new you, with him at the helm, paving every step of the way? Put up a prayer to him. Ask him what you should do in the new year, and ask him specific questions, and then watch for the messages. It's like a scavenger hunt. You ask him, Lord, am I supposed to be here? Am I doing the right thing for my family? Am I supposed to be in this house? Or am I supposed to be out in the wilderness? What do you want me to do? And you'll start hearing those messages as long as you're listening for an answer. And you never know. Sometimes those answers may parallel yours. But don't get disappointed along the way when he says no. And I knew before I was evicted wrongfully from the rental house in Summerlin Key. I read it in my Bible, and I just sat there in disbelief. I was like, there's no way. Come on. Are you kidding me? He knew what I did brought me joy. So decorating a house, even unpacking, was joyful. There was no darkness attached to it. So it was another house of healing. I went from Green Acres and I did landscaping for healing. Getting myself grounded again away from technology. Didn't even have my cell phone with me. Go down in the dirt. Something I really never enjoyed was getting dirty. Another level of therapy without paying for it. He provided it to us. And I moved to the Keys in the Florida water, the sea. My body was running out of salt. And now I need it almost daily. I refuse to be trodden under the men afoot ever again. And each and every one of you should feel the same way. It's that simple. How long are you going to kill yourself while they're continuing to poison us, each and every one of us, then becoming ill or just dropping dead left and right? At what point do you not get down on your knees and start praying to God that you too understand what your mission is, just like the rest of us, fighting for freedom, fighting for justice under God? You can't do that with hardened hearts of men in power, that it's all about the mighty dollar. One denarius. It's unbelievable when you think of the value of money back then. And to look at the massive amount of it now. As the poor, as the middle class start to become poorer. And the poor are now homeless. Or the middle class are now poor and homeless. Look around, people. Think about where you're at, and are you happy with what is going on now? And then sit down under God with Thanksgiving with your family and start talking about changing this world once and for all. We do it with love. We stomp out hatred. It's the only way. It's the only way to stop this destruction on his path. Get off the wide road and go straight to the straight gate. It's not going to be easy. And like I said, those rungs in the ladder are never as equal as they've always been written. And I've been working on something and I never know what's going to happen with my scribble art. So here's my revelations that I just did last night. And several days. And the rungs on the ladders are not even close to being equal. Why is it that everything has to be what man has told us it was? When you continue, like myself and others, uncovering lies daily, then sharing it with the masses, you hope eventually it finally sinks in. Those of us that have been sickened or retired or whatever our case may be, some may just have just up and left their lives to figure out how to conquer and get justice. We do it with love with God. And the longer you wait, and continuing to sin, it's written in the Bible where your fate lays. I don't need to spell it out for you. You know the ending. All you have to do is read Revelations. So, my head pain is a little improved, but my Hannah Grace knows it's more than that. So I haven't taken my vitals. But I'm finally, at this moment, starting to feel the RSO kicking in. So the pain in my back is finally going away as well. So I just, again, wanted to give an update. And I knew I would rattle on. But once I choke back some more tears, I'm going to read my next devotion for today called Just As I Am. And that Just As I Am was a song when I was a little girl, put on a school bus, church bus, go to Sunday school. And they always played that at the end so that people would walk up and be saved. But that First Baptist church was very judgmental. And I couldn't wait to get out of my mother's house so I could go someplace else. Just as I am is how I come. I don't need plastic surgery. I don't need makeup. I don't need to worry about any of that. As I said, when somebody has a good heart on the inside, it comes and shines and glows on their face that their natural beauty is so beautiful without a stitch of makeup. Think about back in biblical times. How beautiful they were. They didn't need makeup. And each one accepted the other for who they were. The time is now, just as I am, without one, was it without one P? Plea. P. I always said both. But that's just me. Anyway, prayers for anyone else that is suffering out there, and um, prayers to those that have lost loved ones recently. It's just heartbreaking to watch and witness it, the mass quantities left and right. I pray that you and yours have a great afternoon. Don't forget to water your plants. Love tall bunches and bunches. Bye now.